Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is DANISHYAHYA bin ZAKARIA. So today I'm going to show you on how to make an easy experiment on soil at your home. Okay, this experiment is actually wanted to determine your soil profile and the quality of the soil. Basically, your soil may consist of clay, loam or silt, and sand. So, the experiment will show you the layer of your soil and you can know how much clay, silt, and sand in your soil. The concept is very easy as the heavy one is settled at the bottom due to the weight and gravity. So what do you need for this experiment is very simple. You need soil, some water, and several cups. I prefer the clear one so that we can see the layer of the soil taken clearly. So it will be easy for you to measure the content of your soil. So I want to test 3 soil that I can obtain from my house area. First, I take some from my backyard. There are post-construction here where my neighbor renovating their house and some debris or post-construction material settle here unfortunately. For the second sample, I take some soil from my garden. There are a lot of vegetation happen here, so it's kind of messy. And I'm curious about the content of the soil that led to such vegetation. Lastly, I have a premium soil that I bought from the local nursery. This soil can boost your crop's quality and time taken to make it harvestable. So let's see how it is different with other soils. And for the next step, I fill the cup with the soil that I collected around my house. Note that we need to fill the soil with the same level, so I make it half of the cup. This is because it will be very easy to compare with the others if we have set some parameters to be same. And then I fill a bucket with the water. Fill the cup with the plain water and let the soil submerge until the water reaches the top of the cup. Next thing to do is stir the soil until the soil and water are well mixed with anything that you have. Be careful when do this to avoid the solution to spill and the experiment might have an error. It would be very easier if the cup have a cover that can seal the solution. With that, you can easily shake the cup to mix the soil with water. Then let it for several hours until several layers will be visible. So this is what it looks like after several hours. There are some visible layers here, but mostly it has 3 major layers that start with clay on the top, followed by silt and lastly the sand at the bottom. You may not notice the layers because it's very thin, especially for clay, and it is affected by my poor photography skill. After that, we measure all the layers of the soil on every sample that we take by using the ruler. So this is what I have calculated manually by hand. The data is consist of the height of each layer and the percentage of the content on every sample. This is the overview for the soil profile of the post-construction area on my house. It looks like what I had expected, where the soil must be sandy due to consumption of sand during the construction. However, my garden area also contained more sand that would be good for the plant, but not as good as premium soil because the water can easily get to the root but have the less nutrient. For the premium soil, it contains less sand than the others and more clay. So that is how you find a soil profile to check the quality of your soil based on the content of the soil. In my opinion, this soil profile shows us the layer of the multiple material in the soil. This means it has same purpose as the sieve analysis that we usually use in the soil mechanics laboratory to differentiate the materials in the soil. Even if it is not accurate as the sieve analysis, it is actually an alternative if the sieve analysis tool is not accessible when the electrical energy are not available. Besides that, this method is very handy in order to know the overview of the structure of soil. As the structure of the soil is easily obtained, it will be very easy to determine the strength of the soil. But remember, it is not accurate as the further analysis that been highlighted from the soil mechanics application to the real world.